Hello everyone. So I am back here with the third lecture in our series called Lockdown Learning Lecture, and the topic is male reproductive system. Let us start with the functions of male reproductive system. The functions of male reproductive system are two, that are production of sperms, that is the male gametes, and second one is transmission of those male gametes into the female by the process of during the process of sexual intercourse, that is called as coitus. म्हणजे स्पर्म्स तयार करणे आणि त्यांना फिमेल रिप्रोडक्टिव्ह सिस्टीम मध्ये कॉयटसच्या वाटे पोहोचवणे, हे दोन कामं आहेत रिप्रोडक्टिव्ह सिस्टीमची. अँड द ऑर्गन्स there should have been male reproductive system. I have written female reproductive system. The organs that are part of male reproductive system are scrotum, one scrotum, two testes, two epididymis, two spermatic cords, two vas deferens, which are also called as deferent ducts, two seminal vesicles, two ejaculatory ducts, one urethra, and one penis. So these are the organs that constitute male reproductive system. Now let us have a diagrammatic look on this. So here, this is a lateral view, so you will be able to see only one organ out of two. So here a testis is there. On the head of that is present epididymis, and from which a tube passes above the urinary bladder and joins with the seminal vesicles here. Two ejaculatory duct pierce into the prostate gland. This is the prostate gland just below the urinary bladder, and this is the urethra, which then passes through the penis. Now let us go ahead. So we start with the scrotum. It is a pouch that has two compartments, each containing a testis. It is made up of connective tissue, fibrous tissue, and smooth muscles. It plays a role in maintaining a temperature suitable for growth of sperms. And म्हणजे स्क्रॉटम ही पाऊच आहे ज्याच्यामध्ये दोन्ही टेस्टिस सस्पेंड केलेल्या असतात, आणि ते सस्पेंड करण्यासाठी पुढचं ऑर्गन वापरलेलं आहे, दॅट इज स्पर्मॅटिक कॉर्ड. दिस इज द कॉर्ड दॅट सस्पेंड्स द टेस्टिस इन द स्क्रॉटम. And that means testes are attached to spermatic cord, and spermatic cord held the testes in the position. This cord contains things or the tube-like structures that move into the testes and out of the testes, which are arteries, veins that supply the testicles, lymphatic vessels that drain the testes, different ducts of individual testes, and the nerves that are attached to testes. There are two testes which are reproductive glands. These are equivalent to ovaries in the females. That means ovaries produce female gametes and testicles produce male gametes. These are around 4.5 centimeter long, 2.5 centimeter wide, and 3 centimeter thick. These are suspended in the scrotum by the spermatic cord, we have just now seen. Now it has got three layers which are called as, from outer to inner, tunica vaginalis, tunica albuginea, tunica vasculosa. The outermost layer is made up of peritoneum. Let us see. Yes, this is tunica vaginalis, which covers the testis. You can see here the thick layer, grayish layer is there. This is called as tunica vaginalis, which is made up of peritoneum, the serous membrane, as we have discussed in the earlier lectures of digestive system. Then second layer is, in the middle layer is tunica albuginea, the whitish layer. You can find that this tunica albuginea has pierced through the testes and divided the testes into different compartments. Each of the compartment is called as lobule. And the innermost layer is called as tunica vasculosa, which is just touching the dark part, which is just touching the the lobules, is called as tunica vasculosa, which is rich in capillary network. Whatever the blood capillaries or arteries, venules are there, those pass through this tunica vasculosa. Now let us have this detailed look in the structure of testes. You can find here different lobules which contain a tube-like structure, which are called as seminiferous tubules, and these are highly coiled. These are the places where you can find there are two types of cells, germinal epithelium and Leydig cells. These germinal epithelium form the sperms under the influence of the follicle stimulating hormone, and Leydig cells, the other kind of cells which is also present in these seminiferous tubules, these form the testosterone, the male sex hormone. So this is how the testes are playing a role in the male reproductive system. Later on, once the sperms are formed in this, you can find that all the sperms are united. You can see the seminiferous tubules from each lobule has come here and they unite, and they are packed in the next organ that is called as epididymis. Before going to the details of epididymis, let us see the functions of testes. First is the production of sperms under the influence of hormone FSH. Just now we have seen by germinal epithelium. Maturation of sperm takes place in the testes, in the epididymis. Storage of sperms until they are ejaculated. So we don't have intercourse until that. These sperms are stored in the ejaculated epididymis. The formation of spermatogenesis requires a particular temperature around 3 to 4 degrees Celsius, and this temperature is maintained by their position. So you can find that the testes are suspended out of the body, which maintains the temperature generally 3 to 4 degrees Celsius below the normal temperature, which is required for efficient spermatogenesis. So these are the functions that testes perform. The seminiferous tubules then from all lobules unite to form a single tubule. This is length is very much high, and that is 6 meters. It is the length of the seminiferous tubules, and it is highly coiled and packed in epididymis. There are two epididymi, one on each testis. They store the sperms until they are ejaculated. Some sperms are nourished by the epididymis by the cells of Sertoli or Sertoli cell. There are specialized kind of cells which are called the Sertoli cells. These cells nourish the sperms. Now let's move to the next part, that is the deferent duct. This is a duct that carries the sperms from testes to ejaculatory duct. Around 45 centimeter is the length that passes upwards through the inguinal canal. This is the canal that is present in the region of our pelvic cavity, and goes behind the urinary bladder, and later descends down the urinary bladder, and before it joins with the prostate gland, it joins with the seminal vesicles duct. Then comes the seminal vesicles. The seminal vesicles are two fibromuscular pouches lined with the columnar epithelium. The short ducts from seminal vesicle join with the deferent duct, and they form the ejaculatory duct. Now here the function of seminal vesicle is to secrete the seminal fluid during the orgasm. This seminal fluid constitutes around 60% of the semen, and it is important for nourishment of sperms during their journey through the female reproductive organs. Then we'll move on to the ejaculatory ducts. The ducts from seminal vesicle join with deferent duct, and they form the ejaculatory duct. There are two ducts from each seminal vesicles, and both of these ducts pierce through the prostate gland and around of 2 centimeter length, and then they pass through the prostate gland and join with the prostatic urethra carrying seminal fluid and the sperms. Now we have two constituents here in the ejaculatory duct. One constituent is from seminal vesicles and another is from testis, that is semen, seminal fluid and sperms respectively. So you can find it here. Urethra, you can see here from bladder, then through prostate, it passes through penis. So it is a common pathway for both urine and semen. It is around 19 to 20 centimeter long from urinary bladder till the glass penis, and it is divided into three parts. The prostatic urethra, the part which is present in the region of prostate gland. The second part is the prostate to bulb of urethra, that is this part is called as membranous urethra, and the part which is present inside the penis is called as spongious urethra or penile urethra. So now we move on to the penis. The penis has a root and body. The root lies in the perineum, that is the the pelvic region, and the body surrounds the urethra. The body part हा urethraच्या बाजूने असतो. There are three columns of erectile smooth muscles that are around the urethra. Urethraच्या बाजूने तीन प्रकारचे muscles असणार आहेत. Lateral muscle columns are called as corpus cavernosa or corpus cavernosum, and middle column in which the urethra is present is called as corpus spongiosum. At the tip, the penis is expanded into a triangular structure called as glans penis, and this glans penis is covered with a skin fold called as foreskin or prepuce. Now you can see here. So this is the root of the penis and this is the body of the penis. You can find here two lateral columns of corpus cavernosum. Yes, these are corpus cavernosum, and this is the middle column called as corpus spongiosum, and the dot that is present at this core of corpus spongiosum is the urethra. Now we are viewing this from the above. So I hope you have got the structure. So you can see here the corpus spongiosum, corpus cavernosum, spongiosum through which urethra passes, and the corpus spongiosum. Okay. Now how does erection? Two important functions or the characteristics of penis are there: erection of penis and its ejaculation. Now let us first see how erection takes place. The penis is supplied by autonomic and somatic nerves. So whenever there is a sexual stimulation, which may be in the form of sense, vision, touch, vision, or thoughts, the parasympathetic stimulation causes arteriolar dilation and venoconstriction. So arteries get dilated and veins get constricted, due to which blood flow to penis increases but draining is blocked. That means more is supply and draining is less. So due to which the muscle spongy tissue, whatever corpus cavernosum and spongiosum are there, those get filled with the blood, and therefore penis becomes hard and erect, which is required for insertion during the sexual intercourse. Now after the sexual act takes place, there is sudden rhythmic contraction of deferent duct, and due to which whatever the contents of semen are there, those are expelled and carried towards the ejaculatory duct. Muscles in the walls of seminal vesicles and prostate gland also contract, adding their contents into the fluid passing through the genital ducts. The force generated by these combined processes leads to emission of the semen through the external urethral sphincter. This rapid ejaculation of the contents provides the sense of pleasure to the male, which is called as orgasm. Now let us talk. So now let us start the puberty. What is the puberty in the males? Puberty is nothing but adolescence or maturity. This occurs between the age of 10 and 14 normally. And what happens here is the more amount of luteinizing hormone is released by the anterior pituitary, due to which there is more secretion of the testosterone from the Leydig cells that are present in the testes. And due to the effect of that testosterone, which is the male gonadal hormone, following certain changes takes place which are important as far as the puberty is concerned, or the development of these characters is called as puberty, first of which is growth of muscles and bones, and due to which there is a marked increase in the height and weight during this age period. Second thing that takes place is enlargement of the voice or the larynx, due to which the voice becomes slightly louder, or from the smooth voice it changes to a rough one. Facial hair grow, not only facial but the hair in the on the face, hair in the axilla, chest, abdomen and pubic area, they start growing. Enlargement of the penis, scrotum and prostate gland takes place. Now these are the sexual organs which now start developing with a higher rate as compared to the rate before puberty. Maturation of seminiferous tubules and production of spermatozoa. Now they start producing sperms, and then seminal vesicles start producing the seminal fluid. All those things start forming. The skin becomes thicker and becomes more oilier, due to which the boys also may find the problems of the the acne or pimples. Yes, that is more routine word. In the males, fertility is this sexual fertility and sexual ability tend to decline gradually with the aging. The secretion of testosterone gradually declines, usually beginning at about 50 years of the age, and there is no period comparable to female menopause. म्हणजे असं मेनोपॉज जसं डिस्टिंक्टली आयडेंटिफाय होतं तसं मेल्स मध्ये काहीही होत नाही. आणि there ends the fertility period, and it is around 50 years, similar to that of females, as we have seen in case of menopause. So this was all about the male reproductive system. I thank you all for your patient listening. Again, I request you all to please give me feedback about these lectures on my WhatsApp, so that anyway I am not going to stop these lectures. You have to do these lectures, and if it has to be done, let us do it in a style that is more suitable for you. म्हणून मी म्हणतोय, तुम्हाला जे काय वाटत असेल, आवडलं नाही आवडलं, जे काय फीडबॅक आहे ते मला माझ्या पर्सनल व्हॉट्सअपला द्या. आणि VM Edu लाईव्ह असेल किंवा YouTube असेल, दोन्ही प्लॅटफॉर्मवर हे कोर्स तुम्ही पहा, ही रिक्वेस्ट करतोय मी. या 3 लेक्चर्सवर एक टेस्ट आपण 4 दिवसानंतर ठेवूया. त्याची तयारी करायला सुरुवात करा. थँक्यू व्हेरी मच.